So I am the first to start the line of experts that is going to provide you with information about different subjects. We have divided the program in categories. So the first speeches will be about technical aspects, technology. We will go from fibers to final denim and everything. The second day, and the second list of experts is going to be about sustainability, social rights, and everything. And we are including a part for designers, specific topics for designers, 3Ds, inspiration, creativity. And we have a final interview with a brand that is well known in Pakistan. So we hope that we cover basically all the topics of interest for the students of design and for all the denim lovers in Pakistan or wherever you are following this event. So I will share my screen now, just to start with the first presentation. It's called How Denim is Made. So let me go quickly and make it big. So I hope you see my screen now. You should see dark navy or navy and pale blue letters with how denim is made. Denim is complex. This is my first message. Denim is very complex. It takes a lot of steps and a lot of small steps within the steps. So basically we start with any textiles with fibers. In the case of cotton, we go from the cotton planting, we take care of the crop, and after 150, 180 days, we have a harvest. We collect the fiber and we proceed to the ginning. We're just preparing the fiber for the spinning. The spinning is transforming the fiber into a yarn, which is then warped, and we dye that. You will see this in detail in the next slides. We proceed then to a weaving, a finishing. We make the garment, we make the waist down and finishing. Then we store the garments and distribute them to the retail outlet, and we sell it. So you will see that it's not only a lot of steps in terms of industrial activities, it's also a lot of transports involved, moving things from one place to another or from one country to another. One thing that makes denim a little bit special is that it's very frequent, let's say in non-vertical companies, that the cotton is grown in Pakistan, and then the fiber is made in Turkey, and then the yarn is done in Egypt, and then it's dyed in, I don't know, whatever, Italy. So every step may take place in a different part of the world. So that makes the complexity even bigger. It's not only complexity in terms of line of manufacturing, it's a complexity in terms of the places where every step is taking place. So summing up the supply chain, and is that we go from the cotton fiber to the spin. This is an example of the spinning. We do about warping. This is called warping. Is preparing the yarn for the dyeing. In the dyeing or the coloring process, the wet process, let's say we go for pre-weighting. We do the coloring, dyeing, and then we wash or fix and dry before going to the sizing. Enter into details later on. We prepare the weaving, we finish the fabric, and we go for the garment making, waist down, and garment finishing. Long steps and very complex. Each of that step is very complex in itself. So if we start talking about fibers, denim is based on different type of fibers. I mean, okay, cotton has been always the main fiber for, let's say, all apparel and on denim. And recently, or relatively recently, there are other fibers from natural polymer, from cellulose, that can be regenerated or modified cellulose. And one of the main examples is tencel, the fiber from Lansing. It's a very good partner of cotton for making new styles, new effects, new looks. In terms of functional fibers, that synthetic-based polymers, polyester is the number one. There is the inclusion of recycled polyester recently to reduce the impact. You are aware about the problems of generating too much plastic and releasing too much plastic on the environment, especially on the oceans. So part of the polyester is collected is the polyester from the plastic bottles and converted into recycled polyester. It's not the same type of, with the same type of performance, but it helps to, save some plastic from, being disintegrate in the ocean. Very important since, well, around 20 years, are the elastanes. For example, lycra. Elastanes are very important for comfort and also for effects, for the stretch fibers, for the stretch fabrics, so stretch and recovery. Extremely important on the denim nowadays. And also gaining importance because of the innovation, how strong is innovation as an evidence of how strong is innovation on denim. We include now bast fibers like hemp, for example, and we are also very strong on recycling fibers like cotton, post-consumer or post-industrial. Denim is the leader, absolute leader in terms of recycling materials, in terms of recycling polyester, in terms of recycling cotton. We are also the leaders in the adoption of bast fibers. Denim is a very innovative and conscious industry. So we have to go from fiber to yarn, and for that we need spinning. Spinning is basically twisting and pulling fibers to form a continuous, let's say, multi-fiber filament is the way that I find to describe it. It can be done on a ring way or on a open end. Open end is relatively recent, but it's more than 50 years now. But ring was the traditional way of spinning the cotton since ever. And the open end appeared around 1967 as a way to produce yarn out of shorter fibers and to produce another type of warps. Then the yarn, the ends are accumulated. They are together. They are put together in one of these two ways. One is what is called open. In technical terms, is a slasher. I know it sounds strange, but okay. Is the standard technical term for that is open. And then the other possibility is having a rope. I mean, to bundle 400, 550 ends in one cable, in one rope. And then we process the ropes in the subsequent steps. In the dyeing, we can dye in rope. This is the way it looks like. So this is a 12 rope range. So you see every rope as a single cable. And then we have also the slasher, that is an open width with every end moving, parallel to the rest across the width of the warp. There are three main different ways to dye, to color the denim warps. The main one is obviously indigo. Is the oldest possibility. Is still, the king of the dyes for denim. Then sulfur dyes is another type of dyes that is very, very similar in terms of dyeing behavior as the indigo. So it's also based on a balance between oxidation and reduction and oxidation, and we can combine them in the same range. So finally, in the case of denim, we obtain something like this. It's called ring dyeing. It's a superficial dyeing. In the case, indigo is represented, and the white is in the inner part of the fiber. Then we put a layer of another element that could be a starch. Normally it's a starch, but can be other chemicals. We call it sizing, and this is the way it looks. It's like a thick soup. We immerse the ends into this kind of thick soup because we need to protect the yarn from the heavy effect, the mechanical effect of the weaving. Is very strong friction, and if we don't protect the ends from friction, they will basically form a lot of hairiness and they will break. So we need to protect these ends. This is the way it looks when applied the size on, and this is the way it looks when the yarn comes out from the size after drying. This is going to be converted into a weaving beam. So this is the way it looks, conventional indigo, but when we combine it with sulfurs, we can talk about bottoming, which is, okay, we dye first with a sulfur dye stuff, and then we cover that dye, we over dye this with indigo, or we can dye first the indigo and then apply the sulfur dye stuff to form, different looks, different styles, different shades, different wash down. This is very important. This is the way the rope range looks like in a schematic way. As you can see, this is dyed and everything. And at the end, the ropes are collected in big drums that are called coilers. These ropes are going to be eventually rebeamed and sized separately. In the open range and a slasher, everything takes place in the same go. So after dyeing, we have the application of the size, and we obtain at the end the beam. That is going to be the weaving beam. It has the warp for the fabric that is going to be made. Just to give you an idea of how big these denim ranges can be, and this is a moderate size. This is an slasher, as you can see here on the creel, and this is the size, the height of a person or of an operator walking by. So they are big machines, and many things are happening at the same time. So we have a weaving. We have to make a fabric. We have the possibility of making conventional. This is the most modern way, and this is the weaving that became popular when the air looms started to become popular. That again was in the late 60s. Before that, all the denim was selvage. Selvage means that the same end is going, right, left, and is forming the edge of the fabric. So it's self-edge. The yarn on the weft is protecting the edges of the fabric. This is something that from the very beginning of the denim, when Mr. Strauss introduced denim for the workwear in 1873 or something like that, it was this type of denim. Denim has different fabric structures. The 2x1 means, that is two ends below, one end up. 3x1 is 3 ends below, one end up when we refer to the warp. Originally, all the denim at the early days of denim was 2x1. It's a light fabric and not very strong. So all the jeans that the cowboys in the Far West were wearing were 2x1. And because they were still too light, they used to have a lining inside to make it a little bit stronger. On the 1930s, the 3x1 became a standard, more stronger, tough, coarse type of fabric, and it became a standard. The weight of denim is on ounces per square yard. So when we refer to a 12 ounces denim, it means that the original fabric has 12 ounces weight per square yard of the material. This is still the standard for that. Here you see a detail of the selvage, and you see a very, thin red thread here. This is that came, and is now a symbol of selvage, that came from comb mills in the United States when they were working different levels, categories, qualities of denim. They were using a different thread, a different color. When Levi's introduced the double X standard, which is still the standard for Levi's, they wanted to have the best fabrics. And then Cone decided to put a red thread to indicate that was superior quality for Levi's. And now is the standard color for all selvage. So it's coming from I think it's coming from the late 20s as far as I recall. So on a conventional fabric, we have a 62 inches width around, and on selvage, we have 32 inches width. Because remember that on the selvage, we don't cut the fabric, we just convert it into every single part of the article by stitching it together. So we have the edge, we have the selvage, and then we open selvage here. You see, the selvage is open. There's different ends to produce the weft. So we have the fabric, and we have to prepare it for the garment making. And for that, basically, we do 3 steps. One is we remove all the small fibers and loose ends and everything by singeing. We apply a flame directly on the fabric. We have a warp and weft correction. So the warp and the weft form a 90 degrees angle. That's called a skewing. And then we fix the dimensional stability with a machine called Sapphire that was invented also in the 1930s. And then a big roll with a felt that is called Palmer. Another way to finish the fabric, especially when you have elastanes, elastomeric fibers, is heat setting. We fix by heat, and then we finalize the dimensional stability with the Sapphire and the Palmer. This is a Sapphire. A Sapphire is a metal roller that runs on a thick rubber band. The fabric goes here and is stretching, is adjusting the dimensional stability in a controlled way. This is very important to prevent problems, at the end of the process. We have the fabric. We have to roll it up. We have to send it to the garment making. These rolls that you see, they normally have 120, 150 meters. The pattern for a denim, 5 pockets, it varies depending on, of course, on the design. You are the masters on that. But okay, let's say that it requires around 20 parts to make a 5 pockets with some special design. And then this is, a stitching section. This is a picture of a garment sewing mill in Cambodia. You see, there's many people. There are massive companies out there. We require to make a pair of jeans between 1.6 to 2 meters of conventional fabric, and of course more of the selvage because we have a narrower type of fabric. So let's make denim attractive. Let's make denim exciting. So we can have mechanical wash downs, like the classical stone wash, with this general washing, or localized, which is scrapping with sandpaper or other abrasive material on certain parts of the garment where we want to have a contrast. We can also use chemical wash downs, and we can wash down things from very dark to very pale, just changing the type of chemical or the conditions of application. We can also have localized effects by spray. We can spray the garment on different parts with a chemical that basically causes a fading on the dyes that's been applied. And as modern alternatives, of course, we have to mention laser. This is a different type of wash down. It's based on energy. We basically vaporize, we sublimate indigo. And then the ozone, with an over-oxidation of indigo, which removes unfixed indigo backstaining and produces nice casts on the indigo. So then we have to send this to the shop. We can put it like this, like a library, like a bookstore, or like this. Denim is flexible on everything. You can do anything you like with it. Now, let me advise you on things, that I think is important for you to know. The word denim or jeans sometimes is misused. It's incorrectly used. So you can see here a pair of jeans. That's a denim type of article. So you see the white weft and the wash downs and the ribs and everything, fine. But then you have what I call fake jeans or fake denim. For example, in this case, the warp was dyed with reactive dyes in package form, and it was woven with polyester. It looks like denim, but it's not. It's just a kind of copy. We can also take a woven dyed fabric. We dye with a woven fabric with reactives or with anything, and we cut it. We cut this in a classical jeans style, including 5th pocket if necessary. But again, this is not real denim. And then the final example of of the extreme case is a garment dye. There is nothing wrong with that. It's okay, garment dye, but they have put some wash down. They have applied some mechanical wash down here to obtain a kind of effect, and it looks like denim, but it's not actual real denim. So when you go to a store or you think about a design, remember what you want to produce. It can be denim, but there's only one real denim. The rest are fake or non-denim. So this is my last slide. I like to say that denim is an art, and you are the artist, okay? So what we do as technicians, what we do in the industry is convert ideas into something tangible. Okay, so my message to you is that when you think about the design, a new concept for denim, think as an art, as if you're going to do something, you want to impress. We need that. And the designers are very important for the future of denim, because denim depends on innovation. Denim depends on looks. Denim depends on making it attractive to the end consumers. So for that, the designers are key. This is my last slide. I wish you all the best. First of all, thanks very much for following that presentation. Hope it's not been too bad. And I wish you all good luck on your endeavors as designers. And if you have any question about what you have seen, or you want to a little bit more about anything on denim, please let me know. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miguel. We actually have got two quick questions. Maybe we can get one of them answered. We got a lovely question from MTRs. What's the key difference among the free dyeing options? Which is the most or cost effective? Obviously, it is down to why we invent half of these newer ways of working. Surely.
Well, the dyeing cost is one of the parameters on the price of a meter of denim. It's not everything. Okay, and the cost is difficult to say because it depends on aspects like how much dye stuff you use, the application process. So the type of dye supply you're using in combination is very difficult to give an idea about the price difference, because there are other aspects to be considered. Obviously, you can dye cheap with a 6 boxes indigo, which is a standard, and this is all right. The moment that you do something different, that increases the cost. Okay, that adds a little bit of complexity, becomes a little more expensive. But it's difficult to say a price or percentage or everything, because again, this is another in itself a very complex.
Different chemical companies, it gets very complicated where you're buying your
very complicated ones.
That's a whole another 4-hour session there. One more question quickly. Obviously, what's the difference between fake denim? I've always said to my students, if it's ring dyed and it's dyed with indigo, it's denim. If it's others, then I also regard it as slightly fake or non denim. That's what I say.
This is a good point, Mohsen. I mean, if it's a ring dyed and it's dyed with indigo, this is in principle is denim. There are options to dye warps without using denim ranges, but in principle this is real denim. The problem is that now in the stores you find everything. You find things that are real denim. You find things that they're all called. Everything is called denim, but you find real denim. You find fake denim, things that look like denim and is not denim. And you find things that are non-denim because it's just a garment dyed as scrap. And this you cannot call it denim, but denim is a word that sounds good. It's attractive.
Yeah, we've got a question here. What's the best denim for designing? To be honest, from my point of view, if it's been made well, if it's traceable, if it's got those those sort of attributes, if it's a denim where you don't know where it's come from, you don't know what dye they've used, and it's so now it's become more of an issue of how we're making stuff, and that's becoming more of an important thing for a designer, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, what is the best denim? That depends on the person, depends on what you like. Remember that denim, the connection between yourself and denim is emotional. I mean, you feel an emotion. It's not only going to a store and buy something. I'm sorry. So the best denim is the one that you feel close to. It's the denim that you establish a kind of connection with. Okay, this is the best denim. It's impossible to say the best denim is that, even though that most people like ourselves would prefer a certain type of denim, right? Because we are in the industry and we have our ideas. But in any case, the denim that you feel close to, that you feel an emotion, a link with that garment, this is the right denim for you. You need to feel emotion.
Absolutely right. I used to be one of these designers that only used to use selvage, but now I'm very much open to every type of denim. So it's very different. I've changed as a designer in the last 20 years what fabrics I use. But guys, lovely questions we've got coming in. I think like Miguel, we have to move on. But if you could kindly maybe answer some of these sort of questions here.